So I invite you to take a comfortable position, and at the gong, closing your eyes. Observing your breathing, breathing in and out, and noticing that you are breathing. Feeling your hands, feeling your feet, feeling any sensations in your body, and remembering that that's the beautiful energy that gives aliveness to this wonderful body we were given. This meditation is about self-acceptance. Feeling unworthy brings so much suffering to our lives, and it plays out in our relationships, in our work, in our health. We may feel we are not enough, and we strive for perfection to compensate, but the big paradox is that no matter how hard we try, we may never feel we have done enough. And this meditation will guide you towards the freedom and self-fulfillment that comes from unconditionally accepting yourself. Self-acceptance means accepting yourself exactly as you are, with flaws and all, without any wishes of how I should be. Accepting yourself just as you are leads to freedom and to happiness. And yet it's so hard for many of us. It is knowing deep down in our hearts that we are enough just as we are. It means being comfortable with our body. It is accepting that we are human beings, and as such our experience will bring all kinds of thoughts and emotions, and accepting that that is what happens to a human being. Self-acceptance is accepting everything you have achieved and all that you have not yet accomplished. It is accepting your strengths and all those things that you may consider your weaknesses. It means to allow yourself to be exactly who you are and not who you want others to see you as. And And accepting yourself doesn't mean or is not about praising yourself. And it has nothing to do with receiving praise from others. It means you have a sense from within that you feel loved simply for being yourself, with no needs for excuses. And when you love and accept yourself, you allow yourself to be authentic without the need to be wearing masks to cover who you are or please others to be accepted by others. In that way, you start to trust yourself and you start trusting the decisions you make. And then you will notice that with self-acceptance comes love and compassion, a lot of compassion for ourselves. And we realize about the importance of self-forgiveness. We recognize that we have made mistakes and maybe we may even have hurt others. And we acknowledge that if we could have seen then what we understand now, we wouldn't have done it. So we accept that we cannot change the past, and we develop the ability to learn from our mistakes so we can grow. And when we accept and love ourselves, we also work towards forgiving those who have hurt us. Because we understand that they are also human beings and they were blind to the pain they were causing us. We forgive others to free ourselves from the prison of resentment. When we love and accept ourselves, we start feeling whole, good, lovable, and above all, enough, because we know who we are. And so we look at our strengths with a loving and celebrating eye, and we celebrate those strengths, and we look at our flaws with understanding, love, and compassion, and the feeling of joy because we can try again and do it better the next time. We may not even realize we have a lack of self-acceptance, and sometimes because of that it shows up in variety of different ways that we are not aware of. It may manifest itself as making harmful choices or unconscious self-sabotage. It may lead us to depend on others to make us feel good about ourselves. Or we may try to avoid or numb the feelings of unworthiness, the feelings of not being good enough. We may also strive for perfection or procrastinate to avoid the risk of failure. Or we may even get busy and fill our schedule with activities, so we don't have to reflect. Or we may even withdraw from others to avoid feeling unworthy. In whatever way this fear of not being enough is showing up for you, it's okay. The first step on the path of self-acceptance is increased self-awareness. Self-awareness is the key. As we grow this self-awareness, we welcome and embrace any feelings we may be having, pleasant and unpleasant feelings. And we will honor what those feelings are without judging them or trying to change them. Allow any pleasant emotions, knowing that you deserve to feel good. And when unpleasant emotions emerge, treat yourself as you would treat a loved one, with understanding and compassion. Remember that these emotions are just emotions. They don't define you. You are not your emotions. You are much more than that. The emotions, well, they will pass soon. Without changing anything, I invite you to simply meet yourself exactly where you are in the present moment and be aware of yourself. So that is the first step. The second step towards self-acceptance is loving kindness and compassion for yourself. In order to fully love and accept yourself, you must let go of limiting beliefs and self-defeating patterns. Take a moment now to reflect on the behaviors that no longer serve you, or the behaviors that are working against you, and see if you can have the intention to let go of anything that no longer serves you, any negative energy that may interfere with your journey to self-acceptance. So I'll give you a little pause so you can reflect on those self-defeating behaviors that no longer serve you and are working against you. We all make mistakes. It's inevitable. We're human beings. If you notice that you've made a mistake in the past, know that you are being self-aware. Celebrate that self-awareness. That means that you are already growing and evolving, and you can repair that mistake now. Let go of judgments of yourself and comparisons to others, or comparisons to past versions of yourself. Let go of negative self-talk. Let go of unmet and unrealistic expectations. Remember that to be human is to be imperfect. Let go of shame, let go of guilt. Allow yourself to release any resistance to change. Surrender. Surrender to self-acceptance and feel the burden lifted from your shoulders. Let it all melt away forever. What if you could live without anxiety about imperfection? Wouldn't that be wonderful? So this week and beyond, I invite you to check back on your state of awareness often throughout your daily life. I invite you to meet your emotions with kindness and compassion. And not only your emotions, but your thoughts. Meet them with kindness and compassion. And in that way, your self-acceptance will continue to grow. And now, begin to bring your awareness back to your body and your physical sensations in this present moment. Deepen your breath again. And I invite you to place a hand or two hands over your heart and bring in a sense of love for yourself, honoring your beautiful heart, remembering how hard it is working to process every experience you're going through. And taking in one more deep breath and sending it to your heart to make space for unconditional acceptance. And when you are ready, bringing awareness to all the body, feeling yourself sitting here and coming back to the present moment. And at the gong, I invite you to open your eyes. Thank you so much for listening.